Hey everyone, this is Joey Yap, the founder of the Mastery Academy of Chinese Metaphysics and Chief Consultant of the Joey Yap Consulting Group. I've been invited by The Age to give some insights into Feng Shui for home buyers. Now, me and my team are the Feng Shui consultants for some of Asia's top iconic developments. So I'm here to give you some insights on the application of Feng Shui in the purchase of a property. Now, primarily there are two main reasons why people would like to use Feng Shui for their property purchases or home buying. The first one is for their own use. The second reason is actually for investment. Now, generally, if you buy your house, you want the Feng Shui to support certain life goals. For example, perhaps you would like the Feng Shui of your property to support your wealth endeavors. Now, there are usually two ways that people could achieve wealth. The first one is to work for other people. So you want the Feng Shui of the property to support your career or your spouse's career or the career of the family members, for example. Now, the second way is that you're going to start and run your own business. Now, if you are a business owner, you would also like the property to support the capacity of you expanding and growing your business empire. So that's one of the reasons why people look at Feng Shui. Now, just in case you're new to Feng Shui, let me just explain a concept here now. Feng Shui is not the be-all and end-all to everything in your life, okay? So I want to be very upfront with you guys to let you know that Feng Shui is part of understanding how the environmental energies are there to support your goals. So it helps about maybe about 30% of your life endeavors, but if you look at the big scheme of things, 30% is actually a very big thing. If the environment or your home supports you in these goals, you are able to achieve your goals faster and efficiently, okay, in your life. So now some of the main reasons that people select a property with good Feng Shui is actually for health reasons. So they want a certain property that could support a healthy lifestyle and or longevity. In fact, if you look at all the ancient days, in the old days, most of the Feng Shui classics or books in Feng Shui back in the Ming Dynasty or Song Dynasty, they're geared towards looking for land or properties that could support long life, because that's the general idea of good health. Okay. The third reason that people would like to use Feng Shui, apply Feng Shui to a property or select a home for their own use is actually for relationship purposes. They want a home that is harmonious in terms of family. They want good relationship with their spouse, trust and respect. That's very important. And of course, if the energies of the home are supportive of harmony, then you'll find that the family is usually vibrant and happy, and that is one of the main reasons why we work so hard in life, right? We want to have a good family, so we would like the land or the property's energy to support this goal. Now, another main reason why people would like to use Feng Shui in the property is to achieve their life potential. You know, a lot of times we have a lot of talents. We may have talents or we may not know what our talents are, but if you select the right type of property, it allows us to have the opportunities, meet the right people, the right mentors in life that will allow us to basically, you know, become a better human being. And of course, lastly, this is the main reason these days. However, in the ancient days, there are certain formulas that tell you that a certain property is more prone to safety hazards, for example. Okay. Now, the second main reason why people buy property is for investment purposes. Now, in terms of Feng Shui, we want to study the area, study the development to see if it's in the direction of growth. And you don't need to personalize this property to your own destiny chart. You just have to understand that this is in line with the flow of energy so that there's growth potential. You want this area that has a 5-year, 10-year, maybe even a 20-year energy vibration that could, you know, bring the property to the next level, for example. So you're in the direction of growth. Even in basic, you know, principles of investments, most of the gurus out there would advise you to always buy in the direction of growth. And when you buy in the direction of growth, there is basically returns on investment. Now, so how do we apply Feng Shui? Where do we start? Well, we start with these 4 things. Whenever we talk about so-called authentic Feng Shui or principles of Feng Shui that matter, there are 4 areas to which you apply Feng Shui factors to. Now, let me just explain how this all works. The whole idea of a property to have good Feng Shui is that it has good flow of energy. The word for energy in metaphysics, we call it qi flow. So if the energy is good, you have good Feng Shui. And of course, you need to understand what constitutes good energy. So there are 4 areas that we look at. The first one is the environment. This is the most important one, because if the environment has got positive chi or energy producing features, then this whole area that you are trying to study or purchase or invest in has got potential for good feng shui. So if you're buying a property for investment purposes, this is the primary aspect of your feng shui assessment. You want to have the environment that has the positive features, and I'll explain what the positive features that you're looking for in a short while, but this is your primary focus, okay? Now, in fact, 70% of good feng shui is dependent on positive environment. That's why there are always areas in a city that is more prosperous than another area. Okay, certain areas, you know, they're just so vibrant, there are a lot of traffic, there are a lot of energy, a lot of businesses growing in that area. So this is because the environment has got positive features, okay? Now, of course, within that environment, then we're going to study the building's layout. So many people thought that this is the main part of feng shui. They're going to look inside the house, they're going to see the living room, the dining room, the bedrooms and the doors and stuff. This is just the internal part of the property. This part here is like the container to contain the energy that comes from the environment. Now, the other part is timing. A certain piece of land or area within the city or outside of the city may, at this point in time, may not be prosperous. But in the maybe next 5 years or 10 years, if you understand the time cycle of a piece of land, then you can always invest or buy in the direction of growth. So this is one of the key benefits of studying feng shui, is to allow us to understand where the chi direction is growing, okay? So this is the aspect of time. And of course, lastly, and which is extremely important, if you are going to buy a property for your own use and you want to apply feng shui, this part is about the residence, because here you have to incorporate your own birth data, which is your own feng shui element in relation to the house's direction. So this part here, sometimes you hear about, you know, feng shui principles that determine your favorable directions, where you should be facing, where should the door be facing, and so on and so forth. This part is about personalization, okay? So let me give you some insights. For most basic users of feng shui, they probably will be looking at the building. So if you are going to buy a new home, a new apartment or a new house, for example, even a commercial unit, for example, you want to look at certain features that are important in terms of feng shui aspect. Listen, you don't have to go into a home and then you analyze every single thing inside the house. For example, some people are really concerned, you know, where their storerooms are, or, you know, where their laundry sector or utility rooms are. No, those are not important. There are basically only 5 areas or 5 things that you need to be concerned of when we are studying a particular building's feng shui. And these are the 5 things. Number 1, you need to understand the main door, okay? Now, when we're talking about a main door, we're talking about flow of energy. It's like the mouth of the human being. You want to be able to receive and eat and talk, and then no obstructions. So for a property, the main door is extremely important. No obstructions, open spaces where energy can flow in, and that is one of the main features that we talk about that has got good feng shui features. Imagine if there's a main door and there's an obstruction, there's a pillar, or there's very narrow frontage, no foyer, for example. These are all bad features. And in fact, you can use a little bit of common sense when you purchase a property. If the main door doesn't feel good to you, it probably has bad feng shui. And you can personalize this to your good direction using your own destiny chart, which I'll show you in a short while, if you're buying it for own use. But if it's for investment purposes, the main door is one of the key areas that you should look at in any property. Of course, the main door for a house is easy to see, but the main door for an apartment unit is the unit that enters into your main door, and or you need to study the balcony of that apartment unit that you're looking at. You want to be able to look out from your balcony. These are for high rise, for example. You want to look out and you'll be able to see a spacious, nice open space, nice hill, preferably see water element. Now, although this is a basic, logical, common sense approach, but a lot of people will just buy a property and then the balcony look out, you see another building blocking your view, no energy can flow in. Generally, that unit doesn't have very good flow of energy, okay? Now, of course, we spend most of our time, you know, resting, rejuvenating, sleeping. So the bedroom within that property is very important. So that is where you get your healing, where if you sleep in a good sector and a direction is great, you have good temperaments, your health is great and you feel good, your relationships will be good. So this is a very important aspect to study, that if you're personalizing your feng shui, you want this to fit to your personal directions. I'll show you about this in a short while. Now, the kitchen is important only if you cook and eat at home. If you don't, then this is not an important aspect for you. If you do cook and eat at home, like most people do in the past, then you need to look at your personal directions, and or you want a kitchen to be located in the sectors that has favorable flow of energy so that everyone in the house is healthy. That's the most important. Most of the time when we are called to assess a house where there are sick people or there are people whose health has got problems, usually the kitchen is located in the wrong area, and the food that they cook is incepted with negative vibrations and energy. Therefore, in the long run, they have illness problems. Okay? Now, think about this. We're not talking about those that obviously you can take medication and cure. Sometimes you look at illness. Even if you use the modern medical approach to eradicate yourself from the illness seems to come back. That is because the energy imprint is bad. If the energy imprint is bad, the same sickness will always come back even if you take medication to eradicate it. So it might be where the kitchen has some issues. So look into that. And of course, if you're a career person or you are studying for an exam, you want to become, to expand and realize your life potential, the study room location and direction is very important, okay? And again, I will show you what these are when you relate it to your personal chart. If you are not going to purchase a property for own use, you're going to use Feng Shui for investment purposes, then all of this is the most important. That's it. The rest you don't have to worry because you're not going to use it yourself, okay? Now, if you're looking at environment, if you're studying the environment, then these are the 5 things that normally a Feng Shui practitioner would be looking at. Now, I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to this because this is a simple educational video. It's not going to go into detail, but at least you need to know what we are looking for, right? How do you know a property has got good Feng Shui potential? The Chinese Feng Shui masters, a lot of them will just talk about the technical terms. So I'm going to explain technical terms to you, but then I'll show you what it actually means in the true layman's terminology. First, we say dragon. When we talk about dragon in a certain vicinity, we're basically talking about mountain ranges. So if the mountain is the yin energy which governs a person's character, abilities, talents, they all talk about your capacity to achieve greatness. So the greater the mountain, the more capable the people are, okay? So we like ranges of mountains. So in the ancient days, the one lump of a hill represents one generation of good fortune, okay? So you want to see an area that has got undulating hills. Now you may say, but my area has got no hills. So what do I look for?